want to welcome our West Division champions, Northern Illinois, and obviously Rod Carey, head coach, and Jordan Lynch and Jimmy Ward. So we'll let Coach Carey open with a statement, and then we will proceed with questions with our student athletes. Coach Carey.
First off, hi everybody. We don't say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, well, it's obviously good to be back in Detroit. It means you did something right during the season. And we're just ecstatic to be here, and obviously all of our focus has been on this game and, that game that's coming up tomorrow night against a very fine Bowling Green team, and one that, we have to dot our I's and cross our T's on everything that we do, because they have a very veteran group, a group that is well coached and knows how to play the game. So it's going to be something that we have to come out and be ready for, and we're looking forward to the challenge. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Hey Jordan, with you and all the Heisman talk, how do you keep it from being just about you and the team resenting you, or is it more like bringing the team together as like a team award?
Yeah, I would say it's more of a team award. We really don't talk about it. Anyway, I mean, the only way I'm going to get down to New York or win the Heisman if we win games. So, we kind of focus one game at a time, and, the only reason I got the chance of going is because of my coaches and teammates around me.
Coach, this is now obviously the fourth time in a row that Northern Illinois has been here. Is there now an expectation for this program this year that you're going to end up here?
Well, I always thought when we talk about expectations, I say this, is that we have higher expectations for ourselves internally than anybody externally has for us. So if that's an outside expectation, I can tell you that's probably not a high enough expectation for us. So, we're striving to meet something amongst ourselves that the seniors set and we set every year.
Hi, Coach.
Hey!
What kept you awake at 4 o'clock this morning?
How long you got? Well, after dealing with third down yesterday, and then going back and looking at their D-line, and then going back and looking at their O-line and their run game, probably about those three things last night. And it wasn't 4, I couldn't fall asleep till 2, so it was on the other end. And then got up at 6, and then we made the trek here. So that's what we do as coaches, though. We're supposed to worry, right? So I'm pretty good at it.
Coach, you spoke about the run game and actually doing good up against the run. How important is it for you to shut down that run game like you did earlier this season?
Well, very important. I mean, you don't win football without being able to run the football and stopping the other team's run. That's football 101, and they're really good at running the football, and they have a fine offensive line, a really good tight end, and a good dynamic running back. But I believe in our defense, and they play good square football, and that's what it's going to take tomorrow to shut down that run game. And listen, shutting down that run game, you're probably not going to go ahead and hold it to 50 yards on the day. If you can hold them under their average, I think you're doing a good job.
Coach, with everything looking at the end of the season, end of your career, have you looked back at your first game? You ever think much about that one? And just reflecting on that and then where you've come since?
Yeah, I made a lot of strides. Came a long way from my first game. I don't know how many starts I have under my belt now, but it's a night and day difference from the first start until now. I feel more and more comfortable, and I mean, for this team, the best is still yet to come for this team. I've been saying it. So.
Anything you remember from that first game, positive, negative? Wish I had that back, or
right? Yeah, I mean, I wish I had that game back. Probably a little nervous at the time. It was a long time ago. Probably a little nervous. Nervous probably got the best of me.
What was the first game you got into? Because I recall a game against Eastern Michigan. In the second half, you had 2 carries and you ran for touchdowns. Was that your first game, or no?
Oh, I played redshirt freshman year. I got time. I don't know what game it was, but I kind of came in for Chandler Harnish and kind of ran the ball and got a few throws, and that was about it. I remember just the game.
Coach, do you consider yourself an educator? And then, conversely, what do you feel you passed on this year?
Yeah, coaching is just another way of saying teacher to me. We try to teach the game of football, but more importantly, listen, you're a product of who raised you in this game, and you know, there are always four people I say: my dad, my father-in-law, my high school coach Roger LaPelt, and Bill Mallory, my high school or my college coach. And Bill, you know, was a prime example. He's a guy that goes ahead and, you know, he taught us toughness. He taught us all the things inside of football, but he taught us life too. And so that's how I was raised. And that's what we try to do with this. Listen, it's not like we sit around and have warm fuzzies all the time, okay? You know, but we're sitting around and we're trying to coach a game, win a game, but in the process, football is just a small microcosm of life, so there are a lot of things that we can correlate to, and we take those opportunities to do that.
Jordan, can you talk about playing for three head coaches and the similarities and the differences? Because obviously you run the ball all the way through really well.
Yeah, playing for three head coaches, you know.
Of course, he's the best, right?
Right, Coach Carey.
Yeah, there is. You're a suck up.
You know, Coach Kill is the one who recruited me, and playing for him, you know, that's one of the reasons why I came to Northern Illinois. And, you know, he had a few good years at Northern, you know, went to Minnesota, and here comes Coach Doran, you know, brought the spread offense in Northern. I thought that was, you know, the best fit for me, you know, stay at the school and everything. And, you know, so that kind of worked out. Coach Doran, you know, won 2 MAC championships, and, you know, here comes Coach Carey, our offensive coordinator, and it was a smooth transition. You know, he kept everything the same, probably a few wrinkles here and there with the offense, and you know, I think the defense is starting to realize, you know, what Coach Carey's all about. You know, he's a player's coach. He's fun to be around, and you know, I know going out on the field every day, you know, you never drag going on the field. You know, it's always fun to be around. He makes practice fun, and you know, he's a better person, you know, than he is a coach. So.
Hey, Jimmy, do you think the NIU defense is being overlooked? We keep on hearing about Bowling Green, but not as much about the Huskies.
You know, it's just, you know, let the politics talk. Basically, we just got to keep doing what we do best, you know, basically making the offense one-dimensional and then stopping the run.
I noticed you guys have a lot of turnovers or force a lot of turnovers, but you give up a lot of yards. Is that more of a do-or-die defense, or is it due to the offense being on the field, you know, or getting off the field quickly, or?
No, I just feel like, you know, different calls in different situations, basically. But, you know, we're more of a man team now, so, you know, sometimes the offense makes the plays, and sometimes, you know, we cause turnovers.
What are you going to have to do to be successful against BG? Because they said that they have the ball, possession of the ball, #1 in the country.
You know, basically we got to get the ball from them. You know, they don't got that many turnovers. I think 8 on the year. So basically we got to cause turnover mainly and you know, more basically stop making one-dimensional, stop the run. They got a real good run game. So I feel like, you know, we cause turnovers, just rip at the ball from their running back because he's a real good running back, you know, force him to pass.
Hey, Jordan, can you talk about your passing game? Because a lot of people, when they, you know, talk about you as the running game, obviously when you get 300 yards a couple of times, we can see why. Can you talk about your passing game?
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I get the knock with the passing game, because I run the ball pretty well. You know, I improved over the offseason. If you can go back and look at, you know, the completion percentage is up. I have a lot more starts under my belt. I'm more and more comfortable with the receivers. You know, we built a lot of chemistry over the summertime, and you know, I just feel like it's a night and day difference from yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, last year to, you know, this year. You know, throwing the ball.
Coach, can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, you know, you throw the ball with your feet, right? You know, you hear that. And I think that's the thing that Jordan really worked on in the offseason is that his feet are letting him throw the ball much more accurately this year because, you know, he's fundamentally, he's just a little better. Listen, he wasn't bad last year at it, okay? So it's not like we're talking about a bad passer to a good passer. We're talking about a good passer to really good. But it's those small things, those works, and he said it, that you do in the summer. And a lot of that mechanical stuff has to do with that chemistry that he just talked about with his wideouts. You know, if you're not out in summer, you know, sweating and throwing those balls, you know, and learning each other, then it doesn't work in the fall.
Jimmy, you're seated proudly behind the Husky emblem there, and the hard way has sort of become your brand. Would you like to comment about what the hard way means to you?
Basically, the hard way means, like, you know, hard-nosed football. We didn't have an indoor until, like, this last year, to me and Jordan getting our last year of football, finally get indoor. You know, normally we go outside and practice in all different types of elements, and like it be cold, the wind be blowing, but somehow we get through it. We go into the games, and we rarely. It probably affect the opposing team, but it really affect us because we used to.
Jordan, I want to go back to your high school senior year. How many people were in on you hard, and how many of them were going to give you a chance to play quarterback? Because I know you've drawn a lot of interest as a defensive back amongst colleges, but how many were talking about quarterback?
Yeah, there was only one school talking about quarterback, and that that was Coach Kill there at Northern. And I felt like I was a quarterback coming out of high school. I wanted the chance, and no one gave me the chance. They always recruited me as an athlete. So Coach Kill told me to come down to a one-day camp and see what I have. And I came down there, and the next day they offered me a quarterback, so I took it.
And Rod, how many offensive coordinators are out there and head coaches to this day are still kicking themselves when they see those numbers on Sunday?
Yeah, I say it all the time. Recruiting's all screwed up, isn't it? I mean, it's a nightmare. It's something that we've made a mountain out of a molehill because a guy like Jordan, only have one offer. That's really an indictment on our profession, in that we make these early offers to sophomores and juniors, and we go ahead and make evaluations and then get ourselves in a situation where a good player like him has a good senior year, and you don't have any scholarships left. So that doesn't make any sense because you're supposed to play your best football as a senior. I don't care whether that's in high school or in college. And so, listen, we try to wait as long as we can, and that's why.
Jordan, how many star recruit were you with? How much were you coached up once you got to Northern Illinois? Not only seeing Chandler, but Coach Kill and now. Because a lot of times when you're in the MAC, I mean, you see a lot of players playing in the NFL who were recruited and they were like 2 stars, and the next thing you know.
Right. I don't know anything about the star thing.
Right.
I never heard of that before, but
like the 2-star recruit, 3-star recruit, you don't.
Yeah, probably the lowest one possible. But coming in, I mean, I ran a triple option in high school. It's kind of hard to get recruited as a quarterback. I can see that. They threw the ball probably 6 times a game, and just coming in, I worked with Chandler. Chandler is kind of like my bigger brother there. Kind of helping me out, and Coach, I believe it was Coach Poor at the time. Our quarterback coach worked with me, and as the years went on, I started getting stronger and stronger as a quarterback and a passer. And I mean, this is only my 4th or 5th year, really playing quarterback. So I feel like I'm still growing every year.
Any further questions for our Huskies?
What were your tailback then before that?
Oh, he was a triple option quarterback.
Yeah.
So
No, you meant 4th, 5th year playing a true quarterback.
Yep. In high school, I ran a triple option. I don't know if I understand the question, but
No, I consider triple option still a quarterback.
I'm saying running the kind of like a pro style offense.
Careful, Coach Lenti will be upset.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't want to. I tried to answer around the question.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Coach Carey, the trophy is yours for the West Division. We'll let you take it back with you to the locker room and back to the count.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.